Informo que no hall aqui do prédio temos lugares
I would
disponíveis.
like to let you know that we have seats available in the hall if you're standing.
Temos transmissão, temos lugares
There's also
específicos
transmissions and
onde teremos
specific
os
places
QR codes.
where QR
Então,
codes
quem
are
está de
available.
pé, quem quiser
Please, if you're
assistir
standing and
nas
you would
cadeiras
like to
disponíveis que
watch in
estão
the
no hall.
available chairs in the hall, feel free to do so.
Obrigada.
Thank you.
Senhoras e senhores, bom dia.
Ladies and gentlemen, good morning.
Bom dia.
Good morning.
Solicitamos por gentileza que mantenham seus celulares
We would like to
desligados
ask
ou
that
no
you
modo
keep your phones
silencioso,
turned off or in
em
silent
consonância
mode
com a política de inclusão
and
e
in
acessibilidade
alignment
da
with the
Fiocruz.
policy of inclusion and
Informamos que este
accessibility.
evento
We would
conta
like to
com
let you know that this
tradução em
event counts
Libras.
with
O evento
sign
está
language
sendo
interpreting.
transmitido também.
This event is
Informamos
being
que
transmitted
temos
online,
lugares
and we
no
would like to
hall
let you know that
para
there are
quem
seats available
deseja
in the hall if you
participar
wish
de
to
forma
participate
de
and
forma
have a
confortável.
seat comfortably.
Obrigada.
Thank you.
Para fins de acessibilidade, faço a minha
So that
autodescrição.
accessibility
Sou
is
Manuela
given, I would like to
Machado,
describe
trabalho na
myself.
assessoria
My
de
name is Manuela
comunicação
Machado. I
aqui
work
de
with the
Biomanguinhos.
communication here at
Visto uma blusa
Biomanguinhos.
marrom e uma
I'm wearing a
calça
brown
dourada
shirt and a
para
golden
comemorarmos
golden
esses 50
pants.
anos de
And we're here to
Biomanguinhos.
celebrate the 50 years of
É
Biomanguinhos.
com grande satisfação
It is
que
with
damos
great
início à
pleasure that we
cerimônia em
begin
comemoração
the
aos 50
celebration and
anos de
ceremony of
Bio.
50
Ao
years of
longo de 5
Biomanguinhos.
décadas,
For
Biomanguinhos
5
tem
decades,
sido
this
protagonista
company
na
has been
produção
a
de vacinas,
protagonist in the production of
biofármacos
vaccines,
e diagnósticos,
biopharmaceuticals, and
contribuindo de forma
diagnostics. We've been
decisiva
contributing
para
in
o
a decisive
fortalecimento do
way to
Sistema Único de
strengthen
Saúde e
the
para a saúde
unified
pública
health
do
system
Brasil
and
e do
public health
mundo.
in Brazil and in the world.
Registramos e
We would
agradecemos
like
a
to
presença
say
das
and thank
autoridades que
you
nos honram
for
neste
being present here
momento.
today, all the
Da
authorities
Secretaria de
present.
Vigilância em
We would like to
Saúde e
thank
Ambiente do
the
Ministério da
Health
Saúde,
Secretary, the
Mariângela
Environment
Batista, o
Secret Ministry,
diretor-presidente da Agência
the
Nacional
Director
de
and President
Vigilância
of the National
Sanitária,
Vigilancy
Leandro
Agency, Leandro
Safatli, o
Safakli.
diretor do Programa
We
Nacional
would
de
also like to
Imunizações,
thank the Director
Éder
of the National Immunization Program,
Degatti
DEGA,
Fernandes, a
Degate Fernandes,
vice-presidente de
the Vice
Pesquisa, Inovação
President
e
of
Saúde da
Research and
Fiocruz,
Innovation and Health of
Priscila
Fiocruz,
Ferraz,
Priscila
o
Ferraz,
presidente da SFOC, Paulo
the President
Garrido,
of
o
SFOC,
presidente
Paulo
executivo
Garrido,
da Associação
the
Brasileira
Executive
da
President of the
Indústria
Brazilian
de Química Fina,
Association of Fine
Biotecnologia,
Chemical Industries,
Andrei Vilas
Biotechnology,
Boas.
Andre
E
Vilas
registramos
Boas. And we would
ainda
like to
a presença
register
de
that
dirigentes da
the presence
Fiocruz,
of different
autoridades
Fiocruz
governamentais
authorities and
e
directors,
representantes da
government
comunidade
authorities, and
científica. O
representatives
nosso
of the
muito
scientific
obrigada.
community. Thank you so much.
Para compor a mesa de abertura,
For our
convidamos
opening session, I would like to invite Mário Moreira. He is the president of the Oswaldo Cruz Foundation.
Rosane Kuber, diretora
Rosane
de
Kuber,
Biomanguinhos
the
Fiocruz.
director of Biomanguinhos Fiocruz.
Registro, por favor. Assistiremos agora ao
We will now
vídeo
watch
comemorativo
a
dos
celebratory
50
video
anos
of the
de
50 years
Biomanguinhos.
of Biomanguinhos.
50 anos.
50
Meio século de
years,
cuidado
half a
escondido
century
dentro de
of
frascos,
care that
agulhas
has
e
been
esperança.
hidden in
Aqui,
hope,
cada vacina
needles, and
começou como um
production.
sonho,
Here, each vaccine
depois
started as
virou
a dream,
ciência e
and then it
braços
became
esticados no
science
campo.
and
Somos
a
muitos
hands
trabalhando por
reaching
você.
out.
E
We are a
somos
lot.
mais.
We're working here
Estamos
for
também em
you, and we are
diagnósticos que
more.
chegam na hora
We
certa.
are also working in
Para cada doença,
diagnostics
uma resposta
for each
antecipada.
disease
Estamos ao seu
an
lado no
anticipated
tratamento para
response.
doenças
We're
raras,
with you
crônicas e
in the
autoimunes,
treatment of
garantindo
chronic
acesso
and rare
gratuito a
autoimmune
medicamentos de alta
diseases,
Somos para
guaranteeing
todos.
free
Deixar
access
ninguém
to
para trás.
expensive
Agora
medication.
não há linha de
For
chegada.
us,
Não
there is
comemoramos conquistas. Comemoramos
there is
vidas
no
que seguiram
end in
firmes,
sight.
famílias
We
protegidas.
don't
O
celebrate
sistema de saúde
achievements, we
continua trabalhando,
celebrate health and
sempre correndo
families.
contra o tempo.
We are
Desde
always
aquele primeiro
racing against
contrato contra a
time. Since the
meningite
first
até a pandemia
contract
de
against
Covid-19 que
meningitis
nos fez correr
until the
ainda mais.
pandemic of COVID
Como
19, which
sempre,
made us run even more.
vencemos. Em
And like
2020, o
always,
mundo
we
parou,
won.
mas não
In
aqui.
2020, the
Em
world
40
stopped, but
dias,
not
chegamos ao
here.
diagnóstico.
In
Em
40
menos de
days,
2
we
anos,
delivered
a vacina mais
diagnostics.
fácil.
In
Por
less than
trás de
2
cada
years, the
paragem,
national
há uma história de
vaccine.
dedicação.
Behind
Gente que
each
transforma
little
conhecimento em
production,
abraço,
there are
em
stories
proteção.
of people and people
Seguimos
who
ao diálogo porque
transform
acreditamos na
knowledge
soberania
into
nacional.
hugs and
Novas
protection.
fábricas, novas
We believe
tecnologias e
in
uma
national
única certeza.
sovereignty.
Trabalhar
And we
pelo
have
SUS
one
é cuidar do
certainty.
Brasil.
We
50
working
anos,
for the
produzindo
Brazilian
inovação,
unified health system is to
ciência,
take care of Brazil.
tecnologia,
We are
saúde,
producing
história,
technology,
conhecimento,
science, health,
produzindo
innovation,
vida.
history, and knowledge. We're producing life.
Dando continuidade, convidamos para a sua
I would
mensagem
also like to invite
a
up
diretora de Biomanguinhos,
the director of
Rosane
Biomanguinhos, Rosane Kube.
Gente, que emoção, né?
So happy to be here today.
Bom dia
High emotions.
a todas.
Good morning, everybody.
Questão da política, né, de acessibilidade,
The
primeiramente eu gostaria
policy,
de descrever.
honoring the policy
Sou
of
uma mulher
accessibility, I would
branca,
like to describe
altura
myself. First of
mediana,
all, I'm a white woman of
cabelos
medium
louros,
height,
presos de
blonde
coque.
hair.
Estou vestida um
They're
terno
up.
azul da cor de
I'm wearing a blue
Biomanguinhos.
suit. It's the color of
Bom, é com imensa
Biomanguinhos.
alegria e um
It's
profundo
with
sentimento de
joy
orgulho que abro
and
esse evento
pride
tão
that I would
especial.
like to begin this
Estamos
very
aqui para
special
celebrar
event
5
today. We are
décadas de
here to
história,
celebrate
de
5
ciência, de
decades of
dedicação e de
history,
vida.
science,
Celebração dos
dedication, and
50
life.
anos de
The
Biomanguinhos.
celebration of 50 years of
Primeiramente, eu gostaria de
Biomanguinhos.
compartilhar a
First of
emoção da
all, I would
noite
like
de
to
ontem,
share
quando
how
nosso símbolo
emotional
maior
last
da
night
cidade
was
do
when
Rio
our
de
big
Janeiro,
symbol in
o
Rio de
Cristo Redentor
Janeiro,
se vestiu
the
com a nossa
Christ
cor,
Redeemer,
a cor que
dressed in our
simboliza a vida,
colors, the
a
colors that
ciência e a
symbolize
esperança,
life,
para celebrar
science,
o
and
aniversário
hope,
de 50 anos de
to
Biomanguinhos.
celebrate
Uma
this
cerimônia muito
50-year
linda e muito
anniversary. It was a
emocionante.
beautiful, very
Meu
emotional
coração ciente de
celebration.
gratidão também
I am
ao
so
ver esse
grateful
auditório
as well
cheio,
to see this
lotado,
auditorium
pessoas
full
lá
of
fora
people.
também.
There, we
Todos
even
que
have
nos
people
acompanham aqui
outside.
pela
All of
transmissão
you have
online.
been with us
Quero saudar as
online as well.
autoridades
Thank you.
presentes,
I
os
would also like
pesquisadores, os
to greet the
tecnologistas, os
researchers, the
analistas,
present
os
authorities,
técnicos,
the
os
analysts, the
gestores, os
techniques, the
parceiros
managers,
nacionais e
partners,
internacionais,
national and
os amigos,
international,
em especial
friends,
os
and
trabalhadores e as
especially the
trabalhadoras de Biomanguinhos,
workers of
passados e presentes,
Biomanguinhos.
sem os
In the,
quais
from the
nada disso
past and
seria
from the
possível.
present, without you, none of
Há
this
meio
would be
século,
possible.
sonho começava
For
a se
half a
formar
century,
dentro
a
da Fundação
dream
Oswaldo
began
Cruz.
to form
Produzir no
within the
Brasil,
Oswaldo
com
Cruz
tecnologia
institution.
nacional,
We wanted to
imunobiológicos que
produce in
salvassem
Brazil with
vidas.
national technology
Nasce Biomanguinhos.
immunobiologicals that would save
Ao longo dessas
lives.
5
And that's
décadas,
how
enfrentamos desafios
Biomanguinhos was born.
enormes.
Within
Crises
these 5
sanitárias,
decades, we've
restrições
faced
orçamentárias,
huge
necessidade
challenges,
constante de
health
inovar.
crisis,
Mas a cada
financial
obstáculo,
restrictions, but
consciência,
to each
competência e
obstacle, we
compromisso com o
responded with
SUS.
competency,
Fomos
science, and a commitment
protagonistas
to
no
the unified
enfrentamento de
health system.
epidemias, na produção
We
de
were
vacinas que chegam
protagonists
aos
in
braços de
facing
milhões de brasileiros,
epidemics,
na garantia de
producing
diagnósticos com
vaccines that
saúde,
reached millions of
tratamento
Brazilians and
precoce,
guaranteeing
segurança
diagnostics that would
epidemiológica
allow
e na oferta de
for
biofármacos
early
essenciais.
treatment and
Nossa
offering
trajetória se
essential
confunde com a própria
biopharmaceuticals.
história da saúde pública do
Our
país.
trajectory is hard to
Mas
separate from the
celebrar
public
50
health
anos
journey of
não
the
é apenas
country.
olhar para trás
But
com
celebrating
orgulho.
50 years, it's not just
Sobretudo,
looking to the
reafirmar
past
nosso
with
compromisso
pride,
com o futuro.
but it's also about reaffirming our
futuro de
commitment to the
Biomanguinhos já está sendo
future. The
construído
future
nos
of
nossos
Biomanguinho is
laboratórios.
being built in our
Estamos
labs.
investindo em
We are
terapias
investing
gênicas, uma
in
fronteira do
genetic
conhecimento que promete
therapies,
revolucionar
which
a
is a
saúde de
boundary that
doenças
will
até então
revolutionize the
incuráveis.
treatment
Estamos
of diseases
desenvolvendo
that were
vacinas de RNA
up until now
mensageiro, a
incurable.
tecnologia que
We are
nos
also
se mostrou
producing
tão decisiva
RNA
nos
and
últimos anos
mRNA
e que nos colocará
vaccines,
novamente na
and
vanguarda
this will
mundial da
again put us
imunização.
at the
Falamos de
front
superar
of
barreiras
technology
e
in
de inovar
immunization.
sempre, de
We want
investir em
to
pesquisa
innovate
aplicada com a
always. We want to
certeza de que a
invest in
ciência salva
applied
vidas.
research because we are
Nosso
certain that
futuro se
science
alicerça
saves
também em
lives.
pessoas.
Our future is
Por isso,
also
gostaria de
focused on
parabenizar
people.
todos os
So I would
novos
like to
servidores que
congratulate
entraram no
all
nosso
the new
concurso
servers
e
that passed
reforçar
in our
o meu
last elective
comprometimento
process
com o
and
movimento dos
reinforce my
excedentes.
commitment
Apoiamos a
to
causa
this
por entender o
movement. We
contexto dos
support the
desafios
cause
que
because we
vivemos e a
understand the
necessidade
context
de
of the
recomposição
challenges
dos
and the
quadros
need
geriátricos
of
nos próximos anos.
reorganizing
Excedentes,
our teams in the next few
estamos
years.
juntos.
We are here together.
Obrigada.
Não terminei.
Thank you. I'm not done, actually.
Eu
Sorry.
só parei para fazer
I
uma
just
pausa.
paused just to
O que
provoke a
continua
little
nos
emotion.
movendo é a busca por SUS
What continues to
soberano,
move
tecnologia
us
nacional de
is to
qualidade
see
segura
a
e
national
acessível.
unified
É a
health system
defesa
that is
por acesso
sovereign.
equitativo a
We want to
insumos de
defend
saúde para
equitable
toda a população
access to
brasileira.
health to all of
E a
Brazilians.
grande festa da ciência que vivemos aqui hoje naturalmente
And
não
what we
poderia
are
ser
living
melhor.
here
Ela se
today
desdobra na
cannot
10ª
could not be
edição do
better.
Simpósio Internacional
This
de
is also the
Imunobiológicos
10th
de Especialistas
edition
do Brasil e
of
do
the
mundo.
symposium
Durante os dias 7 e
of
8 de maio,
immunobiologicals
o
in
Museu de
Brazil
Arte
and the
Moderna,
world.
o nosso MAM, será a casa do
During
conhecimento, onde os
the
debates e as
next few
trocas
days,
científicas
the
vão
Modern
reafirmar o
Art
nosso lugar
Museum
na
will be
vanguarda
where
da pesquisa e da
our meetings
inovação.
will take place and we will discuss
Agora, eu
all the
também
cutting
gostaria de
edge
destacar
technology
que
and
hoje é um dia
research.
duplamente
I would
especial.
also like to
Não
let you know that
apenas
today is
celebramos os
doubly
50
special.
anos de
We are not only
Biomanguinhos, mas
celebrating the
também o
50
aniversário
years
de
of
uma pessoa que marcou
Biomanguinhos,
para sempre
but
a
also
nossa
the
história
birthday
e a
of
da
a
ciência
person that was
brasileira,
incredibly
Marco
important
Krieger.
to our history and Brazilian
Krieger foi
science,
vice-presidente de
Marcos
produção
Brighi. He was the vice president of production.
Krieger foi vice-presidente de
Brighi
produção e
was the
inovação
vice
em saúde
president
da
of
Fiocruz
production
de
and innovation in
2017 até o seu
Fiocruz from
falecimento,
2017 until
construindo uma
his death.
trajetória de liderança
He built
estratégica e
a
movimentou momentos
leadership
decisivos para a saúde
trajectory
pública
with a
brasileira.
lot of strategy and
Durante a
decisive
pandemia, eu
moments
tive
for
o prazer
Brazilian
de
health.
conviver e
During the
atuar ao seu
pandemic, I
lado
had the
como
pleasure of
vice-diretora de
working
qualidade de
alongside him as a
Biomanguinhos.
VP of
Nesse
quality.
período, Krieger
During
liderou a
this
criação das
period,
unidades de
Brighi led the
radiodiagnóstico de Covid-19 em tempo
establishment
recorde.
of units
Foi
that
uma
would
voz ativa no
support
enfrentamento
people
do
during the
negacionismo
pandemic. He was an
científico.
active voice
Sempre
in
acreditou no
facing
potencial de inovação do Estado
denial.
brasileiro
He
e
always
teve papel
believed in the
fundamental em
potential of
parcerias que
innovation
nos
of
colocaram na
Brazil, and
vanguarda
he was
científica.
fundamental in
Foi
establishing
responsável por
partnerships
trazer a
that
tecnologia
really brought
CAR-T-cell para a
cutting-edge
Fiocruz,
technology to us.
estratégica para o tratamento
He
de
brought
câncer e
CAR
doenças
cell
raras no
technology
SUS
to
e
us
acompanhou
and
de
also
perto o
strategies and
desenvolvimento
treatments
de
related
plataformas
to
de RNA
cancer.
mensageiro até os
He
seus
also
últimos dias.
he
Também
was also
contribuiu
a
decisivamente para a
participant in the
formação de
development of
jovens
the
cientistas e,
mRNA
ao lado do pesquisador Samuel
vaccines,
Goldenberg,
and he worked
desenvolveu
with
a
the
primeira
researcher
patente
Samuel
internacional da
Goldenberg
Fiocruz
and was
no
able
kit
to develop the
diagnóstico para
first
doenças de Chagas em
international patent
1911.
for
Foi
Fiocruz, which was
peça-chave
a
na implantação da
Chagas
Fiocruz
disease
Paraná e
diagnostics
conduziu
kit.
a inauguração do primeiro laboratório da Fiocruz na Antártica.
He was also there
Isso tudo
when
eu
Fiocruz
anuncio.
opened their
O
first lab in
Manguinhos irá
Antarctica.
solicitar ao CD da
And because of
Fiocruz
all
o
this,
novo
I would like
campus
to
de Biomanguinhos em
say
Jacarepaguá,
that the new
que se
campus of
chamará, nós iremos
Biomanguinhos in
solicitar isso,
Jacarepaguá
Complexo
will be
Tecnológico em
called the
Diagnóstico
Technological
Marco Krieger.
Complex and Diagnostics Marco Brighi.
Marco, fica aqui a nossa homenagem.
Marco,
Você e
this
sua
is our
memória possam
tribute to
inspirar as
you.
próximas
I hope
gerações.
you and your memory can inspire the next
Antes de
generations.
encerrar, eu
Now,
quero agradecer a
before
cada
finishing,
servidor
I would like to thank all employees, all outsourced and in-house employees, each partner that with efficiency and hard work have built this story. Thank you, Fiocruz. Our home has always supported us and challenged us to go even more beyond. I would like to thank the government and the Ministry of Health for believing in technology and promoting social justice. And we renew our pact. Biomanguinhos will continue to belong to the Brazilian people, an institution that produces health, generates knowledge, educates people, and never backs down from a challenge. Let's walk together to another 50 years of innovation and a strong health system. Thank you, and I hope we have a great event.
Na sequência, convidamos o presidente
Now
da
I would like to
Fundação
invite to
Oswaldo
the
Cruz,
stage the president of the
Mário Moreira.
foundation, Oswaldo Cruz Mário Moreira.
Bom dia
Good
a todos e
morning to
todas
all,
que nos acompanham aqui nesse auditório
all that are
maravilhoso,
here
lotado.
with us in
Rosane,
this
precisamos de um auditório maior, né?
beautiful, crowded auditorium. We're
Eu
in need of
queria
one
saudar
that is
também
bigger.
aqueles que nos
And
acompanham
I would also
pela
like to
internet.
say
Eu
hello
vou
to
me
those who are
autodescrever.
following us through the internet. I'm going to
Eu sou um
describe
homem pardo,
myself.
com pele bem morena,
I
cabelos
am
grisalhos, usando
a
óculos preto,
brown-skinned
terno
man.
vermelhinho, uma blusa
I'm
branca
wearing a
e tem um
white
botão
shirt
aqui
with a
da convocação
button
dos
here
excedentes.
for the
Eu
convocation of
queria
the
também fazer uma
excedents.
saudação especial
I would
aos
also like
ex-presidentes da
to
Fiocruz, que eu não
salute
gosto de
the
usar
former
o termo ex,
presidents
como eu já
of
falei.
Fiocruz, which
Eu
I
sou
don't
o
like to
grande
say
Paulo
they're former.
Gadelha,
I see here
professor
Paulo
Noel, professor
Gadelha,
Akira. Eu não sei se Nise está
Professor
presente
Akira. I
aí,
don't know if
está chegando,
Nisi is
né? Então,
here.
para o
Maybe
pessoal do
she's
MIB
on the
também
way.
chegando.
So
Eu
I
queria também,
salute them.
começando,
I would also
fazer uma
like
homenagem
to
aos
pay
meus
a
colegas
tribute
aqui de
to
Manguinhos que
my
exerceram
coworkers
um
here
papel
at Biomanguinhos
fundamental nessa
who played
trajetória de
a
50 anos, que
fundamental role
ocuparam
during
aqui
these 50
o papel,
years,
a cadeira de diretores,
and
aqui
they
no caso o
have
doutor Akira,
taken the
pôs
seat
em
of
marcha esse
director,
processo vitorioso de
starting
organização da
to
produção de
put on this
imunobiológicos na
victorious
Fiocruz em
journey of
1976,
producing
num momento
biologicals in
histórico de, inclusive, de
76.
industrialização do país. É
And,
nesse
uh,
momento que Biomanguinhos surge.
and it
Também
is
queria
in that
comentar,
point in time that
cumprimentar aqui que está
Biomanguinhos
presente, Otávio
arises.
Oliva, João Quental
Otávio
está
Olivia,
aqui,
João Quental,
Andrew
I've
Irmão de
seen
novo,
you.
a
You're
Lu,
here. It's
Lu
good
na
to see you
frente,
again. Lu here up
Marco Oliveira,
front.
também não sei se está
Marco
aqui,
Oliveira, I'm not sure if
Arthur
you're
Couto, já
here.
vi com terno
Arthur
novo ali,
Couto, I saw
belezinha,
him. Is wearing a new
Maurício Zuma, que
suit.
também já ouvi, mas não vi onde ele está
Mauricio
sentado.
Zuma, I've seen you too,
E
but I know you're
finalmente,
sitting
e
somewhere.
também Rosane Kuber,
And finally,
que
Rosane
ao seu
Kuber,
lado eu também queria
that
cumprimentar
by
a
your side, I
diretoria
would
atual de
also
Biomanguinhos,
like
a Cíntia, a
to
Monique, a
pay my
Débora,
respects to
a
the
Nini,
current
o
directory,
Flávio, o Hugo e a Ana
Flávio,
Paula
Hugo,
Cacenda.
and Ana
Em nome de
Paula.
vocês, eu queria também cumprimentar todos
And
os
I would
trabalhadores e
also like
trabalhadoras dessa
to
casa, os
salute all
atuais e
workers
que já
of this
passaram por aqui
house,
e que puderam
the
compartilhar
present and the
esse momento
past,
muito belo de
that were
construção
able to
dessa
share this
trajetória de
beautiful
Biomanguinhos.
trajectory of building
É
what
tempo,
Biomanguinhos
sem
is.
dúvida alguma, de celebração.
It is a time to
Eu sempre falo
celebrate.
isso, as instituições nascem, crescem,
I
algumas
always
morrem,
say
outras
that
continuam crescendo.
institutions,
E
they
assim como a
are
Fiocruz,
born, they
Biomanguinhos tem essa
grow, some
história.
die, and
E
all
eu
of
comento
them
isso
have
porque
their
basta
stories.
lembrar que a nossa
And
indústria
it's
pública de vacinas hoje se
just
reduz
necessary
a
to
2 laboratórios
remember
só.
that
Agora eu vi o Maurício.
we had two
Só o
labs,
Butantan e a própria Fiocruz, Biomanguinhos,
Butantan and Fiocruz
sobreviveram a um
with
processo de
Biomanguinhos. Only
desgaste
these two
de
labs
uma
have
indústria que foi
survived the
pensada a
process of an
partir
industry
da sustentabilidade do
that
nosso Programa
was
Nacional de
thought
Imunizações.
from sustainability.
Esqueci também aqui de cumprimentar os nossos
I also
parceiros
forgot to
nacionais e internacionais, as
salute
demais
our
autoridades
national and
que estão aqui
international
presentes do
partners that
Ministério da
are
Saúde.
here
Também
and the
quero
Ministry of
cumprimentar
Health
o CD da Fiocruz, em nome de Alda, que
and the
visitou logo na
distribution
primeira
center
oportunidade.
of Fiocruz that
Biomanguinhos
is
tem, de
represented here in the
fato,
first chair.
conseguido
And we have been able to maintain as one of the main labs in Brazil. This Brazilian model of a public industry in vaccination has become a model to be followed, to be debated, including it was a debate topic on G20, which I'll talk later. And this trajectory gives us a good institutional base so we can think about the future. So we can look at these beautiful stories in the last 50 years that we have faced some crisis, but we have always come out stronger. And Biomanguinhos is more and more necessary to our vaccination program, and now including supporting other public programs. And I would like to salute our President of Innovation and Production. We are growing, and even if we had a last government that took investments away from science and undervalued our vaccination program, we are growing fast. We're going through a modernization process in our plants, and I'm very thankful to Arthur for asking me to work at Fiocruz. We only had here 3 buildings of production. There was nothing new there. We had nothing. And Biomanguinhos has grown a lot with the support of government, of Fiocruz itself. And now we have a decent, I would say, plant. And we also have important endeavors ahead of us as we're taking again the works at Santa Cruz, not this month, but in June, July, we will launch a new bid to hire for this work so we can move on with this work that is fundamental for the country. And outside of Rio, we have a plant being built in biotechnology in Ceará, and we're also working in biodiagnosis in Jacarepaguá, a plant that was donated to us. So thank you so much, Rosane, for recognizing and mentioning Marco Krieger, who would also be celebrating his birthday in the day of the birthday of Biomanguinhos. And we have a national policy that is becoming stronger now with more elements that are driving partnerships in producing technology. I'm telling here to Biomanguinhos and our partners, we're at the right moment to overflow our tradition of not only just transferring technology, but also developing technology together. I think that Biomanguinhos is presenting itself in this new way. It is important to say how much health has been central to the government policies. One highlight is the new Brazilian industry that one of its axes, it is a health complex that I have mentioned before. But we're also putting health as an international agenda that is very important. In a stranded world, health has been the only thing that aggregates and that has put together projects to structure. Brazil has presented in G20 in 2024 under Brazilian presidency a local coalition for production and innovation, a regional production and innovation, and that represents two key initiatives. The first I've mentioned, putting health in the center of cooperation. This topic is going to be everywhere in the Health Assembly, in many other discussions. But I think there's another one that is that Brazil has been in an international discussion. Biomanguinhos has been cooperating and working together with partners not only to transfer technology, but it has and will have an important role as Fiocruz was chosen as a collaborating center for qualification and biomanufacturing. We are in charge for training specialized workforce in producing biologicals. And I would like also to salute my friend and the rector of Federal University of Rio de Janeiro. He's right in the back. So this, all these elements together, they represent not only Biomanguinhos. Rosane herself is in many board seats, Priscilla too, in this field of cooperation and innovation projects us onto the future, and I see a clear path where we should go. But it is not going to be an easy road. And this is a point where history repeats itself. In 96, 97, Arthur, Mauricio, Malu, you remember the crisis we went through. And due to that crisis, we presented to Fiocruz Presidency and Distribution Center a plan so we could have legal and operational, especially operational conditions, so that Biomanguinhos could come out of that crisis and take its place as the main laboratory again. And we succeeded. We amplified our portfolio of products. We started investing again. And again, 8 or 10 years later, we started debating again on institutional matters. That was, we wanted to take to our internal board the difficulties we had to face a national project, already expanding our plans. We already had other buildings, and we had a model that was restraining us in our operational capacity. And again, throughout my life here at Fiocruz, this was the topic that went on for the most time, and we approved the company. The politics of that time didn't allow for it to happen, but the scene today, the scenario is very different than those years before. I remember that at our times here, we could count on one hand how many companies produced vaccines, and now even if we use our fingers and toes, it will not be enough. So how can we remain important and bring important technological innovations, new technologies? We're following that. We are the messenger RNA vaccine hub, and we're going into advanced research by gene therapy and CAR cell, and we need to have the conditions for that. We have here in Brazil two international companies that have support to install themselves here in Brazil. We have a Chinese company that is building their facilities in Paraná, and that places a challenge. We have a bill in the National Congress that is going to transform private companies in strategical companies in health, which is very important. And I don't mean to frighten us, because we're not frightened by that, but we're challenged by that. This is a moment to celebrate, but not only to party. We need to make this party a turning point so we can project the future Fiocruz. We have a famous institutional video that says that we have feet in tradition, but with eyes turned to the future. And I would like to once more congratulate Rosane and her team. And I would like to wish Biomanguinhos another 50 glorious years. Viva Biomanguinhos, viva Fiocruz.
Agradecemos pelas
We
importantes
thank you for your
contribuições,
contributions,
Rosane.
Dr. Mario and
Daremos
Rosane.
início agora
And
ao
now we'll
lançamento do
like
selo
to move on to the
Pedimos por
launch
favor
of
aos
the
integrantes da
commemorative
mesa
seal.
que
We ask the
desçam, por
members of
gentileza.
the panel to come down, please.
O selo postal é um importante
This
instrumento
postage
de
stamp is an
preservação
important
do patrimônio
instrument of
nacional.
safekeeping our national memory so that we can keep track of landmarks and institutions that contribute to the development of the country. We begin now the launching of our postage stamp, commemorative postage stamp, in honor and tribute of the 50 years of Fiocruz and Biomanguinhos. We count with the regional coordinator of the post office in the region, Mr. Bruno Vinícius de Paiva da Silva, to begin the celebration.
Abrindo o rito, o presidente da Fundação Oswaldo
To
Cruz,
begin the
Mário
ritual, the
Moreira.
president of the Oswaldo Cruz Foundation, Mário Moreira, please come up.
Muito obrigada.
Thank you very much.
Registro fotográfico.
Let's take a picture.
Encerramos o rito
We conclude the ceremony with the director for Biomanguinhos Fiocruz, Rosane fogo.
Convidamos agora Mário Moreira.
We invite now Mário Moreira and Rosane Kuber for a picture, the official picture of this moment.
Agora ouviremos o senhor
We will now
Bruno
hear Mr. Bruno Vinícius de Paiva da Silva.
Alô? Bom
Hello,
dia a todos presentes.
good morning, everyone.
Dr. Mário,
Present authorities,
Rosane.
Dr. Mário,
Fazer minha
Rosânia.
autodescrição.
I will
Sou
describe myself
homem
now.
branco,
I am a
cabelos
white
pretos,
man. I have
33
dark
anos,
hair. They're graying a
usando um terno
bit.
preto
I'm wearing a
blusa social.
black suit and
Em
a button
homenagem a
shirt.
essa data aqui, eu queria fazer
In
breve
tribute to
discurso a
this
todos
date,
presentes,
I would
ok?
like to give you a brief speech.
É uma satisfação para os Correios
It
participarem
is a
dessa
pleasure to
cerimônia
the
que
post
celebra os
office to
50
be a
anos da
part of this
Biomanguinhos,
celebration that
uma
will
instituição estratégica para a
commemorate
saúde pública
50 years of
brasileira e
Biomanguinhos,
referência na
which is a
produção de
strategic
vacinas,
institution for
reagentes
the
e
Brazilian
soluções
public
para o Sistema
health,
Único de Saúde.
introducing
Ao longo de
solutions,
5 décadas,
vaccines, and
Biomanguinhos
reagents.
tem contribuído
During
de forma
5
consistente
decades,
para o fortalecimento da
Biomanguinhos has
soberania
contributed
sanitária do país,
consistently to
atuando
strengthen
com
our
excelência
health
científica,
sovereignty with
inovação e compromisso
excellent
social.
excellency in
Sua
science and
atuação
always
foi e
renewing their
segue sendo
social
fundamental na
commitment.
ampliação do
They are
acesso à saúde
fundamental
e
in
na proteção da população brasileira.
increasing and
Os
amplifying
Correios
the
têm a missão
Brazilian
de conectar
population's
pessoas,
access to health.
empresas e
The
serviços
post
em todo o
office has
território
the role
nacional.
of connecting
Ao
people,
longo de sua
companies, and
trajetória,
services in all
consolidaram-se
national
também como
territory.
agentes de preservação da memória
Within our
e da
trajectory,
identidade
we've
nacional
also
por meio da
become
filatelia.
agents that preserve
Cada selo é
memory.
uma expressão cultural,
Each seal, each
histórica e
stamp
institucional,
is a
que
cultural
ultrapassa
expression,
fronteiras e leva ao
which
mundo
goes
referências do
beyond
Brasil.
borders and will bring to the world references that come from Brazil.
Por isso, é
For
motivo
this
de grande
reason,
satisfação lançar hoje o selo personalizado em homenagem aos
we are
50 anos de
happy to
Biomanguinhos.
launch today this
Esta peça
personalized
estratégica
stamp
celebra não apenas uma
in
data,
tribute to the
mas uma
50
trajetória
years of
marcada por
Manguinhos
contribuições
anniversary.
relevantes
This is
à
not
saúde
just a
pública,
date,
à
it
pesquisa
is a
científica
journey
e ao
of
desenvolvimento
relevant
tecnológico nacional.
contributions in public
Ao
health,
registrar este marco na
scientific
filatelia
research.
nacional, os Correios reafirmam seu
The post
compromisso com a
office would like
valorização
to
de instituições que
reaffirm their
impactam
commitment in
diretamente a qualidade
valuing
de vida da
institutions
população
that impact
e do
directly in
desenvolvimento
the
do nosso
quality of
país.
life of the Brazilian
Destaca-se
population and our
ainda
country's
a filatelia
development.
como uma
We also
plataforma
highlight
estratégica de comunicação institucional,
this as a
capaz de
strategic
projetar, em
platform
âmbito
for
nacional e
communication
internacional,
of institutions
iniciativas que
nationally,
geram valor público
internationally,
e fortalecem a imagem do
initiatives that
Brasil.
generate public
Este
value and strengthen
lançamento
Brazil's
também reafirma o
image.
compromisso dos
This
Correios com parcerias
financing
que
also
engrandecem
reaffirms
o
our
serviço
commitment
público
with
e
partnerships
promovem o bem-estar
and
da
strengthen
sociedade.
public service and promotes social well-being.
Seguimos atuando como uma empresa pública
We will
moderna,
continue to work as a
eficiente e conectada com
modern
as
and
necessidades do
efficient
país,
public company
honrando nosso
connected to the
legado e
country's
projetando o
needs,
futuro com
honoring our
responsabilidade e
legacy and
inovação.
projecting the
Agradecemos a
future
todos
with
os envolvidos
innovation and
nessa
responsibility.
iniciativa
Thank
e
you
pelo
all who
privilégio de
have been
registrar por
involved in
meio
this
dessa trilha esta
initiative
data
and for the
histórica.
privilege
Este
of
selo cumpre seu papel de
registering this
valorizar e
historic
difundir a
moment
relevância
through
dos
this,
biomanguinhos
the development
para as
of this
futuras
stamp.
gerações. Muito obrigado.
Thank you very much.
Muito obrigada. Pedimos a todos os integrantes que retornem aos seus lugares, por favor.
We would now like to ask all the participants to return to their seats. One more picture.
Muito obrigada.
Thank you very
Gostaríamos de
much.
agradecer também
We
a
would like to
presença
also
das
thank the
seguintes
presence
autoridades:
of the
a
following
Coordenadora Geral
authorities:
de Gestão de
the
Insumos
General
e Serviços
Coordinator
Disponíveis
of Supply
do Ministério da
Management
Saúde,
and
representando
Code
o
Networks
Ministério e o Programa Nacional
in the
de
Health Ministry and
Imunizações,
representing the
Thaisa
ministry
Neiva
and the National
Fonseca,
Program of
nossa
Immunization,
ex-ministra
Thais
da
Neiva
Saúde e
Fonseca.
ex-presidente da
She was the
Fiocruz,
previous
pesquisadora
Minister
do
of
Centro de
Health
Estudos
and
Estratégicos
ex-researcher
e
at
pesquisadora emérita
Fiocruz,
da Fiocruz, Nízia Trindade Lima,
and also Nízia Trindade Lima.
e a presença da vice-presidente de
And the
pesquisa e
presence of the
seleções
Vice
biológicas
President
da
of
Fiocruz,
Research
Alda Cruz.
at Fiocruz, Alda Cruz.
Registramos também, em especial,
We
agradecimento
would also like to
à presença
thank
das
the
instituições
presence of the
patrocinadoras
following
deste evento:
sponsors
Biotech,
institutions:
Sanofi,
Biotech,
GSK,
Sanofi,
Libes
GSK,
Farmacêutica,
Libis
Janssen,
Pharmaceuticals,
Evonik,
Janssen,
Ibera
Evonik,
Pharma, Waters
Ibera Pharma,
Technologies,
Waters Technology,
Vice-Presidência de Produção e Inovação em Saúde,
Vice Presidency of
Vice-Presidência de
Innovation,
Gestão,
Production, and Health,
Desenvolvimento
the Vice
Institucional,
Presidency of
Conselho
Management and
Nacional de
Institutional
Desenvolvimento
Development,
Científico
the
e
National Council
Tecnológico.
of Technological and
Nosso
Scientific
agradecimento pela
Development. We
parceria
thank you
e
for your
pelo apoio das
partnership and for your
iniciativas de
support
ciência,
of these
tecnologia e
scientific
saúde
initiatives,
pública.
technological initiatives, and public health.
Dando continuidade à nossa programação,
We will continue on our
iniciamos o
schedule
bloco de
and we
abertura
will
do
begin
10º
the
Simpósio
opening block
Internacional
of the
de
10th
Imunobiológicos,
International
que
Symposium
reúne
of
especialistas e organizações de
Immunobiologicals.
referência
We
na
have here
saúde
together
global.
specialists and organizations that
Convidamos
are
para
referenced
compor a
in health,
mesa
global health.
doutora Kira
We invite to
Holma,
the table Dr.
assessor
Akira Oma.
científico sênior
He is
de
the
Biomanguinhos
scientific
Fiocruz,
chair of Fiocruz and Biomanguinhos.
doutora Kira, assessor
Dr.
científico
Akira,
sênior de Biomanguinhos Fiocruz, e
scientific
mentor
chair
científico do
of
Simpósio
Biomanguinhos
Internacional
Fiocruz and
de
also the scientific
Imunobiológicos.
mentor of our symposium.
Convidamos também
We invite as well
Fleitas Esteves,
Iliana
coordenadora
Fleita
de
Esteves,
inovação,
coordinator of
acesso a
innovation,
medicamentos
access
e
to
tecnologias para a
medication,
saúde,
and technology focused on
representante da
health, a
Organização
representative
Pan-Americana da
of the
Saúde
Pan
e
American Health
Organização Mundial da
Organization,
Saúde do
PAHO,
Brasil.
the World Health Organization of Brazil.
Muito obrigada. Assistiremos agora a
We will
participação
watch
em
now
vídeo
the
de
participation
Jarbas
through
Barbosa,
video of
diretor da
Jarbas Barbosa.
Organização
He's the
Pan-Americana
director
da
of the Pan
Saúde,
American Health
diretor
Organization,
regional
PAHO,
para as
and the
Américas
regional
da
director of
Organização Mundial da
Americas
Saúde.
of the WHO organization.
I want to thank Bill Manguinhos
I would like to
for the
thank
invitation and the opportunity to share a few words at the opening of the 10th International Symposium on Immunobiologicals. I also extend my warm regards to the distinguished authorities and to all participants joining this important event. It's a privilege to be with you at this special milestone. 20 years have passed since 2006, when Bill Manguinhos marked its 30th anniversary by organizing the first edition of this symposium. Today, we celebrate 50 years of an institution that is firmly established and continues to be a pillar of public health in Brazil and across the Americas. It is difficult to capture all Bill Manguinhos' achievements in just a few words. These accomplishments reflect the vision and commitment of Fiocruz and the Ministry of Health, and above all, the dedication of the people who over decades have built and strengthened this institution. I want to recognize Akira Roma, that is a very important leader of Bill Manguinhos, and who also worked for PAHO, strengthen immunization programs across the Americas. These contributions are part of a broader regional legacy. The Americas have long prioritized vaccination. We were the first region in the world to eliminate smallpox in 1974 and poliomyelitis in 1994. Since then, we have eliminated measles, rubella, congenital rubella syndrome, maternal and neonatal tetanus, and urban yellow fever outbreaks. Building on this progress, PAHO's Disease Elimination Initiative aims to eliminate more than 30 diseases and related conditions, including several that are vaccine-preventable diseases. However, expanding equitable access to vaccines and immunobiologicals remains a complex challenge. It requires a comprehensive and coordinated approach. PAHO supports countries across the entire product life cycle, from innovation and production to quality assurance, procurement, and strengthening of immunization programs. Since the creation of the expanded program on immunization in 1977, national schedules have grown from 6 vaccines to more than 16 on average today. Even so, the region must continue working to recover and sustain high vaccination coverage. To do this, we support countries in identifying underserved populations and addressing barriers to access. We also promote the use of evidence to tackle vaccine hesitancy and strengthen national immunization programs. The COVID-19 pandemic highlighted the importance of strengthening regional innovation and production. This is essential not only for health security in the face of pandemics or major disease outbreaks. It is also crucial for expanding access to quality, similar biotherapeutic products, reducing the impact of high-cost medicines, and ensuring the availability of antivenom and other essential technologies for our region. Through its regional platform for innovation and production, PAHO supports countries in developing policies, strengthening capacities, and fostering partnerships across the public and private sectors. A key example is the implementation of the WHO and Medicines Patent Pool mRNA Technology Transfer Program in Latin America. Bill Manguinhos is one of 2 centers selected in the region, and we are encouraged by the progress it has achieved. To further advance innovation and production, PAHO promotes the development of supportive ecosystems that enable sustainable and successful production, as well as strong regulatory systems to ensure the safety, quality, and efficacy of healthy products while building public trust. In addition, PAHO's regional revolving funds, cooperation mechanisms, with over 40 years of experience, help consolidate regional demand for vaccines, medicines, and other health supplies, while promoting innovation, production, and equitable access across the region. Through these funds, countries can access innovative, regionally produced vaccines at affordable prices, such as the PCV20 pneumococcal conjugate vaccine, now locally manufactured, as well as other high-cost vaccines and medicines. This symposium is a valuable opportunity to bring together scientists, public health leaders, manufacturers, and decision-makers. It is also a moment to renew our collective commitment to advancing disease elimination and strengthen health systems across the region. I wish you every success and hope that the discussions ahead will be enriching and forward-looking, helping us build a healthier and more resilient future. Thank you.
Na sequência, ouviremos a mensagem de Tedros,
Now
diretor-geral da Organização Mundial da
Now we listen
Saúde.
to the message of Tedros, the director of WHO.
Dear colleagues and friends, bon dia. I congratulate Biomanguinhos and Fiocruz on 50 years of advancing science, innovation, and public health. From vaccines and monoclonal antibodies to advanced biologics, immunobiologicals are transforming prevention and care. But their impact depends on quality, equity, and trust. Inequities persist in access to these life-saving products within and between regions. Closing these gaps requires strong, integrated systems across the entire value chain, and above all, skilled, resilient, and sustainable workforces. That's why I'm especially pleased that just last week, WHO designated Fiocruz at the Regional Training Center for the Americas under the WHO Biomanufacturing Workforce Training Initiative. This designation will strengthen skills in production, quality, and regulatory science, as well as clinical development and manufacturing scale-up. WHO is also proud to work with Biomanguinhos and Fiocruz through the mRNA Technology Transfer Program to develop new vaccines and strengthen manufacturing capacity in Latin America. Both the Manufacturing Workforce Training Initiative and the mRNA Technology Transfer Program are among the many measures that WHO has put in place in response to the lessons of the COVID-19 pandemic to make the world safer from future pandemics. Congratulations once again to Biomanguinhos and Fiocruz on your 50th birthday. And thank you for your leadership and partnership in building a healthier, safer, and fairer world. Muito obrigado. I thank you.
Na sequência, passamos a palavra
Now
à
we move on. We
Ileana
give the word to
Esteves.
Ileana Esteves.
Muito bom dia.
Good morning.
Primeiramente, gostaria de agradecer
First,
muito o convite para
I would like to
estar
thank
falando
the
aqui.
invitation to be here.
Tá escutando, tá? Mais perto. Tá. O
Okay,
tamanho.
closer. Yes, it's the size
Bom, gostaria
difference.
de agradecer
I would like
primeiramente
to first
muito o
thank
convite para a OPAS,
the
a
invitation
OMS e o
for
escritório, especialmente o
PAHO
escritório
and
aqui em Brasil.
WHO
O
to be
doutor
here, the
Christian
office in
Morales
Brazil.
envia
Dr.
para todos vocês
Christian
os
Morales
parabéns pelo 50
congratulates
aniversário de
you
Biomanguinhos
for
e
your
Fiocruz.
50th
E
anniversary
gostaríamos
of
também de agradecer
Biomanguinhos and
muito
Fiocruz,
por
and
tudo
I
quanto
would
a
also
Fiocruz
like
tem
to thank
aportado para a
how
saúde
much
pública, não
Fiocruz
somente
has
aqui no Brasil,
contributed
mas
to
também para
public
toda a
health, not
região das
only in
Américas e
Brazil,
para o
but in
mundo
all
todo.
Americas and the world.
É importante neste
It
momento
is
pensar em
important
quantos
to
programas de
think
saúde pública
how
são
many
essenciais, têm
health
avançado graças aos
public
aportes
health
de
problems have
Biomanguinhos e
been
Fiocruz. Neste
essential
momento,
for the
como já
work
foi
of
mencionado pelo Dr. Jarbas,
Biomanguinhos and
não
Fiocruz. As
somente graças
Dr.
aos
Jarbas has
produtos e às
mentioned, not
inovações de
only the
Biomanguinhos e
products and
Fiocruz temos
innovations
avançado
of
nos programas de
Biomanguinhos and Fiocruz,
imunizações,
we
mas
have been
também, como
moving
também foi
on the
mencionado,
immunization
no
programs,
acesso a outras
but
tecnologias de
also in
ponta, né? As
accessing other
terapias
high-end
avançadas. Hoje
technologies,
mesmo,
other
aqui
advanced
está
technologies.
acontecendo
Today,
curso
while we're
sobre
here, we're
diagnosticadores
having
e é
a course
Biomanguinhos quem
on
está liderando essa iniciativa.
diagnosis,
E
and
graças
it
a
is an
isso, muitos
initiative led by
profissionais da nossa
Biomanguinhos.
região estão
And many
sendo
professionals in
formados
our
para o desenvolvimento
region
desses
are being
diagnosticadores
trained
que são
to
tão relevantes
develop
para
this
várias
diagnosis
doenças que
kits that
queremos eliminar.
are important for many diseases we're trying to eliminate. So we have more than 10 diseases in our region are being eliminated thanks to the vaccines that are produced here, that Fiocruz has contributed to distribute all these vaccines in the Americas. So that's the first point, to congratulate you all, to recognize your support, and say that it is amazing to us to be here with you and see how much you always want to share what you know, what you discover, what you develop with the other countries in the region. And that says a lot as to the true scientists and the true health professionals that the world is in very much need of. Congratulations to Fiocruz. I didn't even mention you, I'm sorry. And congratulate you all and wish you all a great event so that the ideas and concepts that leave this place can promote access to all these technologies, vaccines that we need so much in the Americas. Thank you so much.
Ouviremos agora
Now we're
doutora
going to listen Dr. Akira Roma.
Bom dia a todos.
Good morning,
Bom
everyone.
dia.
Good morning.
Realmente é uma grande satisfação estar
It's
aqui
really a pleasure to be here with you all in our 10th International Symposium. I'd like to thank the members of the panel, the directors of World Health Organization that are mentioning our symposium in our 10th edition. And we always had events to commemorate our anniversary, but at a set point, we saw that it was not a national commemoration. So we're in our 10th international event with many international speakers in vaccines, biopharmaceuticals, and diagnostic kits, inputs that are strategic for health in the Brazilian population. The vaccines prevent diseases. Millions of children have been saved with vaccines. Of course, we need to be careful because in the last years, especially with the pandemic of COVID-19, the vaccine coverage has dropped. But we have worked on it and it has recovered a bit, but it's not that coverage rate that was so high that we used to have over 10 years ago. So we all have the responsibility, researchers, developers, innovators, producers, we have the responsibility not only to make the vaccine available, but make them use it, because we're seeing low coverage for influenza and we're in the midst an influenza outbreak. So it goes beyond just developing and producing vaccines. We need to talk about vaccine applications. We talk about diagnostic kits. We have more than 200 high-end technology national kits that it's so important for early diagnosis that will save lives in public health systems. We were the pioneers in having a kit at COVID-19. And then we have continued to work for hepatitis, Chagas disease, malaria. We can detect we can detect malaria in blood samples. And now biopharmaceuticals. We have almost 2 dozens of biopharmaceuticals. We're developing very important products that have very high cost and that the Brazilian Unified Health System has incorporated, and we're in charge of this production so we can make it accessible to the population. And now gene therapy. We're getting involved with gene therapy, which is a high-end technology field with very high costs, but we need to make it available for the population so they can have access to it. So this international symposium brings all these topics and high-end researchers talking about it, debating about it. So it's a very important interaction. So we researchers of Biomanguinhos and other laboratories that are here, so we can share knowledge and we can have this high-end technology throughout Brazil. We need to strengthen the cooperation of the institutions so we can have a system in the country that is truly reliable and able of meeting the demands. And look, we need to be ready for the next pandemic. The next pandemic will come, that is for sure. And we need to work on that. And it is in that context that we're having this symposium. So we can have researchers here of Oswaldo Cruz Foundation and Biomanguinhos. We're sure that we can interact, that we can walk together and have new groups working together. I would like to renew to all of you and say that tomorrow and the day after we have the sessions with the posters at the Modern Art Museum, and we have hundreds of posters that were submitted, and we selected around 200 of them to be presented and debated. And we have many roundtables and sessions so we can interact and debate. We hope that you will all be part of it, part of the discussions. So with the utmost satisfaction, I'm here in the opening of this symposium. And in the year that we're commemorating 50 years of Biomanguinhos. It's not 5 years, it's 50 years. And for us, many of us saw that go by so fast. For me personally, it's going even faster. But you will all get to my age. I'm coming close to 87 years old today. And I've been in Oswaldo Cruz Foundation since 68. I was a director here for 23 years. I was a president. But the thing is, all of us here, Oswaldo Cruz Foundation, we're here to strengthen this area, this bioimmunological area.
como o presidente
You
colocou
see
o
that one
programa
president has put
Programa de Desenvolvimento de Insumos de Saúde,
a,
trazendo os
produ- a
pesquisadores
program of
para
health
a área
inputs
tecnológica.
and has brought to
Morel
the
complementará essa
technologic area.
Morel que já falou,
Morel
e
has
esperamos que
done other
coopere futuramente,
projects,
né, para então
and
contribuir mais
we hope
ainda
that
para
all of
esses
them
produtos.
work and develop
Essa
fast so we can
fundação
contribute
é
with
uma
new
extraordinária.
products.
Eu não quero esgotar aqui meu tempo falando,
I
mas
don't want to take up much of your time here mentioning every one, but many have contributed so that this activity
de inovação
of
pesquisa,
innovation and
inovação,
research,
desenvolvimento e
development,
produção,
and
de
production,
qualidade, em
quality
quantidade,
production,
sejam
and in
realizadas para
quantity,
melhorar o acesso
so
da
that it can
população a esses
be
produtos.
done
E
to
esse
improve the
simpósio
health of
internacional fala sobre
populations.
isso,
And
fala
this
sobre
international
isso, e
symposium
queremos todos
is
vocês lá
about that.
presentes.
And we would
Obrigado, gente. É
like
isso que
all
eu
of you
tinha
to
para
be
falar.
there.
Obrigado.
Thank you so much.
Obrigado. Obrigado.
Gostaríamos de fazer
We would like to
agradecimento
thank
especial aos patrocinadores
our
do
sponsors
10º
of this
Simpósio
10th International
Internacional
Symposium on
Immunobiológicos. Peço por
Immunobiologicals.
gentileza que todos
I
que
would
forem
kindly
chamados fiquem de
ask
pé para um aplauso
everyone mentioned
coletivo.
to stand for collective
Biotech,
applause. Haro Ruf,
Sanofi,
Biotech,
BioML,
Sanofi,
GSK,
BioML,
Sativa,
GSK,
Lilly
Cytiva,
Farmacêuticas,
Libes Pharmaceutical,
Indev,
Indebi,
Johnson Johnson,
Johnson&
Ivone
Johnson, Ivani,
Hypera Pharma,
Hypera
Waters
Pharma,
Technology,
Waters Technology,
Vice-Presidência de
the
Produção,
Vice President
Inovação
of
e
Production
Saúde,
and Innovation in Health,
Vice-Presidência
Vice
de Gestão e
Presidency of
Desenvolvimento
Management and
Institucional,
Institutional
Conselho
Development,
Nacional de
National
Desenvolvimento
Council of
Científico e
Scientific
Tecnológico.
Development and Technological Development.
Nosso muito obrigada pela
Our
parceria
thank you
e pelo
to
apoio às
your partnership,
iniciativas de
the
ciência,
support, and
tecnologia
the
e
science
saúde pública.
initiative in
Muito
technology and
obrigada.
public health. Thank you so much.
Pedimos por gentileza
We
que os
kindly
integrantes da
ask
mesa
the members of the panel
desçam, por
to step
favor.
down.
Iniciaremos agora
We'll
o
now
bloco de
begin
homenagem.
the tributes,
Momento dedicado
a
ao
moment that is
reconhecimento
dedicated to
daqueles que
recognizing
contribuíram
those that
para a
have contributed
trajetória
to the
e o
trajectory,
fortalecimento
to
de
the journey, and the
biomanguinhos e da
strengthening of
saúde pública no Brasil.
biomanguinhos and public health in Brazil.
Registramos nossa
We'll
homenagem
like
aos
to register
ex-diretores
our
presentes.
tribute to the former
João
directors
Luiz
present,
de
João
Santiago
Luiz de
Dantas
Santiago
Barbosa
Dantas
Quintel,
Barbosa Quintel,
período de 1994
from
a
1994 to
1997.
1997.
Peço por gentileza que fique de
I
pé,
kindly
muito
request
obrigada.
you stand up.
Maria
Thank
da
you.
Luz Fernandes
Maria da
Leal,
Luz
de
Fernandes Leais, from
1997 a
1997 to
1999.
1999.
Arthur
Arthur
Couto,
Couto,
de
from
2009 a
2009 to
2017.
2017.
Maurício Zuma,
Maurício Zuma, from 2017 to 2025. We thank you. We would like to invite Maurício Zuma for a speech representing all. Thank you.
Bom dia a todos e todas. Bom, descrever rapidamente, sou um homem branco de cabelos grisalhos, quase desaparecendo. Estou vestido de terno azul, predominantemente azul, em homenagem a Bill Manguinhos, 50 anos de Bill Manguinhos. E queria falar, né, que é uma emoção muito grande, um privilégio estar aqui, podendo reencontrar todo mundo, né, pessoas que a gente não via há muito tempo. Estou vendo o João Quental agora aqui, estou com a responsabilidade de falar um pouquinho também em nome do João Quental, e quero falar, né, que nós estamos aqui comemorando 50 anos, e os ex-diretores que acabaram de ser nominados, faltou o doutor Akira, né, que é o nosso concurso. O doutor Akira é a nossa referência maior, né? Como ele falou aqui, só os ex-diretores que estão aqui presentes, dois ex-diretores não estão aqui presentes, mas os que estão aqui representam mais de 40 anos de gestão, né, à frente de Bill Manguinhos, então estar aqui, ter participado disso, de toda essa história, representando Bill Manguinhos, é um privilégio muito grande. Eu tenho certeza que todos os diretores sentem a mesma coisa, e esse privilégio, e esse privilégio que a gente sente, essa sensação, né, não é por ter ocupado o cargo de diretor, né, é muito mais do que isso, é por ter contribuído, junto com todos os trabalhadores de Bill Manguinhos, os colaboradores de Bill Manguinhos, por todo o sucesso, o resultado que Bill Manguinhos deu ao longo do tempo. Então, isso é fundamental. Eu tenho certeza que todos nós reconhecemos, né, que a força de Bill Manguinhos está no seu corpo técnico, né? Todo esse resultado, todo esse sucesso que nós alcançamos até hoje está representado no seu corpo técnico, na capacitação técnica dos nossos colegas, dos nossos colaboradores. Eu acho que é por isso que a gente chegou hoje aqui comemorando com muita alegria e celebrando todos esses resultados que a gente apresentou, né? Então, sim, eu quero dizer que, mais uma vez, né, emoção muito grande de estar aqui, muito feliz de ter participado dessa história representando Bill Manguinhos, e muito mais do que isso, né? Eu talvez seja um dos caçulas, né, em Bill Manguinhos, estou aqui há 32 anos. Então é isso, né? Doutor Akira, que está aqui desde o começo, quem idealizou Bill Manguinhos, quem começou tudo isso, está aqui até hoje. Só isso fala por si só, né? A energia que ele apresenta, que está aqui, né? Mantendo esse seminário criado por ele até hoje, só isso explica, né, o porquê do sucesso de Bill Manguinhos até hoje. Eu tinha uma mensagem para falar também, mas eu acho que eu não vou ser repetitivo. O Mário falou muita coisa aqui sobre a indústria de vacinas. Eu acho que a gente tem esses 50 anos de sucesso, mas a gente tem que ter pé no chão e ter bastante consciência dos desafios, né? Para mim, os desafios são muito maiores que o Mário colocou aqui. Hoje, o mercado, o mundo, principalmente de vacinas, mudou completamente, mas tenho certeza que Bill Manguinhos está de olho nisso e sabe, né, a gente vem batendo em algumas teclas há muitos anos para que Bill Manguinhos tenha condições de operar dentro desse mercado desafiante, mas eu tenho certeza que isso está sendo tratado e pela direção atual, né, e pela presidência também. Então, eu quero deixar aqui meu agradecimento por ter tido essa oportunidade de falar em nome dos ex-diretores. Não sei se, né, representei bem, mas mais um privilégio falar em nome dessas pessoas que são todas referências para mim. Quero agradecer a diretoria por ter me convidado aqui, a diretoria atual, parabenizar pelo evento, os organizadores, Parabenizar também, né, os colegas da Fiocruz que estão aqui, ex-presidentes, que também mostram, né, a força da Fiocruz. Ex-presidentes de tantos anos aqui mostra por que a Fiocruz e Bilmanguinhos, a Fiocruz como um todo e Bilmanguinhos em especial hoje, falando hoje, tem toda essa importância dentro do cenário do SUS, né, do Ministério da Saúde, em benefício da nossa sociedade brasileira. Muito obrigado e eu espero que vocês aproveitem bastante o evento. Tenho certeza que ele foi organizado com bastante
Thank you. I hope you enjoy the event.
cuidado e que a gente
It was organized very carefully, and we're going to have an excellent event moving forward during the 3 days. Thank you so much.
Agora, nosso reconhecimento
Now,
aos
we would like to
ex-presidentes
recognize
da
the
Fundação Oswaldo
ex-presidents
Cruz presentes.
of the Oswaldo Cruz
Akira
Foundation,
Roma,
Dr.
de
Akira Homa,
1976
of
a
1976 to 1989,
2009.
2001 to 2009. Carlos Morel, 1992 to 1997. Paulo Gadelha, from 2009 until 2016. Nízia Trindade de Lima, from 2017 until 2022. We invite you, Nízia Trindade, to speak in name of all the former presidents.
Bom dia.
Good morning.
Que alegria estar aqui hoje nessa
I'm happy to be here today in this celebration of Biomanguinho's 50-year anniversary. I would like to first of all greet you. I would like to greet and salute Rosane Kuber, all the former directors, former presidents of Fiocruz. And I also would like to ask for a warm round of applause to all the collaborators and employees of Biomanguinhos that during these 50 years have built each of the steps that this unit has taken and is so important to Brazil today.
Viva Bilmanguinhos, viva Fiocruz.
Long life to Biomanguinhos and Fiocruz.
Eu quero agradecer pela honra e a deferência de
I would like to thank you for the honor and deference of speaking in name of all my former colleagues and ex-presidents. Paulo Cruz was not able to be here with us, but I honor him as well. Thank you to Akira Home. He has this double position, director and president. Carlos Morel, Paulo Gadelha. I would like to warmly greet you and pay homage. As Akira Holmes said very well, the role that each of you have exercised is very important. I'm here with more than just a representation. I want to represent continuity of a project that in Fiocruz had a key moment with the management of Sergio Aroca and all of the construction that was possible to be built in this institution. Biomanguinhos started earlier. We are here in this auditorium in honor of that, in fact. But Fiocruz, as an institution that is strategic, and Biomanguinhos as a central component are very connected to the political projects. And we need to affirm this project to Brazil, and we need to reaffirm it in this third government of President Lula. So in here, being in name of the Ministry of Health, I would like to strengthen this role of politics that understands the strategic character of Biomanguinhos in saving lives, like Akira said, and also to put us in face of a project that focuses in the future of our country. Recently, two researchers at Unicamp University that are a part of the study group coordinated by Carlos Gadelha. Carlos worked with me during the Ministry of Health. He was my Secretary of Science and Health. So these projects were interrupted for a moment, but they have been taken up again during the presidency of our now President Lula. And this research is about putting Brazil as a major country in the production of science, technology associated to industrial policies. This is what we have taken up again. So saying this, I would like to highlight the importance of building together in our country and the role of Fiocruz and Biomanguinho as an institute of technology and immunobiologicals represents. I also wanted to mention the interview of the researchers that work at Unicamp, Marcelo Prado and Décio, and they said that Fiocruz could be the Petrobras of the 21st century. I think this reflects well how strategic these institutions are. These things do well for Brazil. They mean work, more work in the area of health. They mean qualifications, innovation, technology. This represents associating the production to access, something that has also been said very well by Akira. We need to think about development in these areas and also at the same time access to these things, how these products are going to reach the population. And in Brazil, this has a name. It's SUS, the Unified System of Health. So thinking of this creed that I believe all of us have, that we have possible perspectives of reaffirming this project. And this is not just a scientific project or a technological project or industrial project. It's a project of a country. And President Lula said this in 2023 when he took up again the work in the complex in the Ministry of Health and the Missão 2, Mission 2 for the new industry in Brazil. So I want to say that during the last years and looking at your faces here today, Akira, I have been working with him. Akira has dedicated almost 60 years of his 87 years dedicated to the Fiocruz institution. So I want to celebrate these years and all the contributions that you have given and amazing contributions that you have given, not just to Brazil, but to the world. And I recognize this everywhere we go. This is recognized by people. Also, João Quental, with who I remember when I began, he was right after I began, he was in the direction of Biomanguinhos, Maria da Luz, Arthur Coco, Otávio Liva. He's not here today for health reasons. Marcos Henrique. When we put everything together, we see the end result of our journey. This institution has history, a history of construction and building that needs to be renewed. And now Rosana Kube, which I hope allows me to quickly mention the challenges that with Zuma, Mauricio Zuma, who was one of the directors of Biomanguinhos in one of our dramatic and moments in the 21st century, which was the COVID pandemic, of course. So they worked together in partnership, focusing on the vaccine with the strong participation of Mario, Marco. I'm not going to mention everybody, But I want to talk about this teamwork that we had, remembering all the work of those who were in diagnostics and those panels that we would open and see. Huge collaboration of the University of Rio de Janeiro, Professor Roberto Medron, he was here as well. Everything that was done in working with awareness and going against the tide of what was happening politically at in the country, and all the lack of support that we've had to face during this moment. So speaking of Rosânia, I always remember the vaccine dossier. I think there were more than 1,000 pages, and I was there working closely with them. And it couldn't have been different. So the strategic relevance is huge. The committees as well. Antonio Carlos, I want to thank you and all the members that with us work together and take these steps to deal and face the challenges in a moment where the Brazilian society had a government that was in denial of the health crisis. Using all of your scientific and technological ability to, in fact, contribute to saving lives and hope and a change in our society. I believe the story cannot be forgotten. The story represents all of us. And it was a labor dedicated to Brazilian society. So in this moment, when I think of this phrase of Fiocruz being the Petrobras of the 21st century, what it means is that we have here all the strategic ability and capacity to really make an impact in the future, so that we work in projects that will add to policies in industry, technology, health, and science with other institutes and partners building this future. In this moment, I would like to thank you, each of you, and say that in some moment of the Fiocruz history, referring to biomanganese in this institute and factories as if this were something smaller, but no, the dimension of production is what is associated to the component of science and technology. All of this is learning to the world. Recently, the African Union and their chief of states got together and said and affirmed the importance of the local and regional production of vaccines and other health supplies. This is connected to these meetings of stories and the experience in Brazil. Many African countries demanded from us this attention, to which the Brazilian government has responded to quickly. So I also want to salute this initiative that was just announced by Dr. Tedros Amaral, who is the director of the WHO, of cooperating with Fiocruz to create a center of training and qualification related to vaccines. We need institutions and policies and science, and this requires training and qualified personnel around the world. We also discussed the contributions of the different employees that were here with us, the different programs that supported innovation and technological development. But I want to highlight one of our big challenges, which is the construction of the biotechnological and health complex in Santa Cruz. Let's also work hard for the future of this institution. This has begun with the management and leadership of Paulo Gadelha. And remember that we've had support and continuity from the federal government that today is here with us again. This is part of our growth program, and it is essential for Brazil to face not only new pandemics, but all the challenges that are here in the realm of production. And citing Akira Homa, I want to say that there is no vaccine without vaccination. So the work at Biomanguinhos alongside the Ministry of Health and Fiocruz and recovering vaccination programs in population is essential when we think about the future and the protection of our population. Here we breathe technology, we breathe science and commitment to our unified health system. And this is why that we can say that Biomanguinhos has a successful future ahead of itself and of a lot of contribution for the country. I conclude with how I should have started with my self-description. I'm a white woman with dark brown hair. They're dyed. I'm wearing a patterned, mostly blue dress in gray and purple. And I also speak here as a person that has 40 years of history in this institution. And I'm so proud to be in Biomanguinhos, and I feel it's my home as well. Long life to Biomanguinhos and Fiocruz.
Muito obrigada.
Thank you so much.
Convidamos agora a diretora
We now
de
ask
Biomanguinhos,
the
Rosane
director of
Kuber,
Biomanguinhos, Rosane
para as
Kuber,
entregas das homenagens.
to hand over the homages.
Iniciando nossa homenagem,
Starting, Nízia Trindade Lima.
para nossa segunda homenagem
For
ao
second homage to
ex-presidente
the
da
former
Fiocruz,
president of
Paulo
Fiocruz,
Gadelha.
Paulo Gadelha.
Muito obrigada.
Thank you so much.
Nossa próxima homenagem
Our next
será
homage
para o
is
senhor
to
Carlos Morel.
Mr. Carlos Morel.
Nossa homenagem em especial
Our special
ao
homage
Dr. Akira
to
Roma.
Dr. Akira Homa.
Nossa.
Wow.
Celebrar os 50 anos de
To
Biomanguinhos
celebrate the
é
50 years of
inevitavelmente celebrar
Biomanguinhos is
pessoas que deram
inevitably
forma a
to
esse sonho
celebrate people
coletivo.
who
E
gave
entre
form to
elas
that
existe uma
collective
presença
dream.
que não apenas
And among
acompanhou essa
them,
história,
there's a
mas
presence
que
that
ajudou
has
a
not only
construí-la,
followed the story, but
tijolo por
helped build
tijolo,
it
desde o
brick by
início.
brick since the beginning.
Falar do Dr. Akira é
Talking
falar da
about
própria
Dr.
formação de
Akita is
Biomanguinhos.
talking about
É
the
falar de uma
formation of
visão que transformou
Biomanguinhos,
capacidade
of a vision
científica
that
em
has
política
turned
pública e
scientific
acesso a soluções de
capacity in
saúde para a
public
população
policy
brasileira.
and health solutions
Que
to the
ajudou a
Brazilian
consolidar as
population.
bases das
He has
imunizações
helped
no Brasil
consolidate the
e que atravessou
basis of
fronteiras, contribuindo
science
também
in
para a
Brazil
saúde nas
and has
Américas,
crossed
junto à Organização
borders,
Pan-Americana de
contributing
Saúde.
to the Americas
Mas
along
hoje,
with
mais que
PAHO.
os títulos, os cargos ou os
Today, more than
feitos, eu quero
titles,
falar do exemplo,
what
da
he's
força
done, I want to
silenciosa
mention his
de quem
example,
chega antes
his
das 7
silent
da manhã,
strength
de quem
those who
estaciona
are
seu
here
carro
before
depois do
7
INCTS para começar o
a.m.
dia com
who
uma
park their car
caminhada.
far away
Como quem
so
se
he can
prepara
start his
todos
day
os
with a
dias
walk.
para mais uma jornada de
Every day he
construção,
gets ready to
de quem sobe
another
com
journey
disciplina
to
e
build.
constância as escadas
He
até o
wants
quinto
to
andar,
constantly
não apenas
climb
como
the stairs
exercício
to the fifth
físico,
floor,
mas como uma
not only for
metáfora
the
viva de
physical
uma vida inteira
exercise,
de
but as
força e
a
perseverança.
metaphor
E
of
ainda
a
nos
lifetime
desafia a
of
subir
strength
junto
and
com ele.
perseverance. And he
E
still
ele não deixa
challenges us to
sempre.
climb those steps with him,
O
but
doutor
he
Akira é
always leaves
firme
us
quando
behind.
precisa ser. É
He's
exigente porque
strong when he
acredita,
needs to be.
porque se
He's
importa,
demanding
porque ele
because he
sabe onde
believes,
quer chegar,
he
porque
cares, he
sabe o
knows where
tamanho da
he's going,
responsabilidade que
and he knows
coloca
the
em
size of
todos nós
responsibility
e
he
sabe o
puts
tamanho da
into
responsabilidade que todos
every
nós
one of
carregamos.
us and the
Quem
responsibility
aqui,
we
de nossos
carry.
parceiros, nunca ouviu o doutor
Who
Akira nas
here among
reuniões
our
de
partners
dirigir o
has
ponto de
never
encontro? Mas
heard
esse projeto
Dr.
está muito
Akita say,
atrasado.
this project is too far behind?
Mas quem convive de perto com
But
ele
those
também conhece
who
uma outra
live with him
dimensão. A
also
doçura
know
no olhar,
another side to him,
o cuidado
sweetness in
genuíno com as
his look,
pessoas e a
the
esperança da
care with
qualificação
people,
de
and the
novos
hope
talentos
in
para levar
qualifying
o
new
desafio adiante.
talents to carry
E
on
eu
the
sou prova
challenge.
disso.
And I'm
Quando eu entrei em
attest to that.
Biomanguinhos,
When
Dr.
I
Akira me
got
chamava
here
de
for
a
the first
menininha
time,
da
he would call
validação.
me the girl from validation.
E talvez seja exatamente essa
And maybe
combinação
that's the
de rigor
combo
e
of
sensibilidade, de
strictness and
força e
sensitivity,
humanidade
of
que
strength
explica o
and
impacto tão
humanity that
profundo que ele tem em todos
explain
nós.
the huge
Doutor
impact he
Akira,
has in
o
all of
senhor
us.
não apenas
Dr.
construiu uma
Akita,
instituição,
you
o
have
senhor
not only
formou
built an
pessoas e
institution,
inspirou
you have formed
trajetórias.
people and
Deixou
inspired
marcas que
journeys.
seguem vivas
You've
em
let
cada corredor,
traces
em
that
cada
are
laboratório,
alive
em
in
cada
every
frasco de
corridor,
vacina, em
lab,
cada profissional que
vaccine
carrega um
vial,
pouco do que
every
aprendeu com o senhor.
professional who carries some
Hoje,
of
ao
what they learned
celebrarmos os
from you.
50 anos de
Today,
Biomanguinhos,
by celebrating the
celebramos também
50
o
years of
privilégio de caminhar
Biomanguinhos,
ao
we
seu lado
also
nessa história.
celebrate the privilege of
Com todo o
walking
nosso
side by
carinho,
side with you.
respeito e profunda
With
admiração.
all our
Muito obrigada.
care, respect, we thank you so much.
Uma fala do doutor Akira, por favor.
Yes, let's give a moment for Dr. Akira to speak, please.
Obrigado, muito obrigado.
Thank you so much. I'm very touched by it.
Não tenho palavras.
Truly, in a loss of
Eu
words.
queria renovar, dizer,
But I wanted to say again that we all built this together.
todos participaram desse processo.
We've all been part of this process.
Mostra que sempre a gente quis
It shows that
esse produto estratégico, esse insumo
we
estratégico.
always wanted this product, these inputs, and we all here have contributed to that. The Ministry of Health, the private partners, the suppliers,
Laboratório patrocinadores estão aqui.
the workers, everyone has taken part of this process. The other institutions, the former directors that have worked in this battle. It is an honor. And this new management, Mário Moreira, have been working very hard. Paulo Gadelha, a mentor, a political mentor here. Nisia, as a Ministry of Health, what she has done. So I want to say thank you, everyone. You are part of this process, all of you. The World Health Organization, the international agents, everyone. And we're here alive. We're still contributing, but in this moment, allow me to say a few names that were very important in this journey of these 50 years of Biomanguinhos, of some people that had already departed from this world. But we need to remember them because they were the origin, they started the path, and they have built Biomanguinhos and have always contributed so this institution could grow. Our major patron, he was the mentor, the main mentor of this institution, and still is, because he put a tripod, teaching, research, and profession to answer the demands of the country, specifically saying about this activity of Biomanguinhos, Alcides Godoy, who developed a vaccine. It was the first patent in vaccines of the country. And he contributed with inputs and investments of the Institute, Oswaldo Cruz at that time. Specifically, also Henrique de Azevedo Pena with yellow fever. We need to remember that next year we'll be continuously producing the yellow fever vaccine for 90 years in this country. And he was the Brazilian researcher who worked directly with researchers from Rockefeller Foundation in the United States, and we produce it now here in the Rockefeller Pavilion. And we cannot forget about Vinicius Fonseca. He was our president, and he came during the meningitis pandemic, and he has put Fiocruz back on his feet. And we have been working with the yellow fever, and we have built the financial resources so we could move on. Kusuchi Fukai, he was in the measles program with technology. He came from the University of Osaka to Biomanguinhos, and he took Biomanguinhos to another level in the industrial production. Ejaroka, he was a president that has supported the production area. He gave coverage, support, and guidance so we could move on. And José Fonseca da Cunha, our dean in technology, he has made possible for us to incorporate new technologies. And José Roberto Saucier, our co-worker here, who lost his life very early on and was responsible for producing measles vaccine. Herman Gonçalves, my mentor of biology, Antônio Vieira of the Pan American Center. He came to help us in quality control from the Institute Adolfo Lutz, and he strengthened our yellow fever team. Jorge Mann, who does not remember him? He supported all the development here. Cícero de Almeida, a mechanic from Bahia, better than many engineers with maintenance. Cícero de Almeida, he was fantastic. Roberto Nicolau, working for decades in producing yellow fever vaccine, and Fernando Lopes, our colleague here. He pushed us to go beyond. Almik Tanuri of the Federal University, who helped us to go to the next level with diagnosis, molecular diagnosis technology. Marcus Krieger, who was already mentioned here by Rosane. And I will also mention my friend Reinaldo Martins, who has driven us to transform our national symposium into an international symposium so we could grow even more. And we have many others. Each has brought their own impact. And we should always remember these people because they have led us the way, they have contributed so we could get here in 50 years of history. And also all our friends, all our companions, our partners, our workers, our colleagues who represent the responsibility of carrying on with Biomanguinhos for the next 50 years. Thank you so much.
Registro fotográfico, por favor.
Please, let's take a picture.
Muito obrigada, doutora.
Thank you so much, Dr. Akira, for your words.
Continuando a nossa
And
homenagem,
moving on with our homage,
We call to the stage the ex-director João Luiz de Santiago Dantas.
Registro fotográfico, por favor.
Let's take a photo, please.
Arthur Couto.
Arthur Couto.
Obrigada.
Thank
Agora
you.
chamamos Maria da Luz Leal.
Maria da Luz Leal, up to the stage, please.
Período de 1997 a 1999.
1997 until 1999.
Muito obrigada, Malu.
Thank you very much, Malu.
Convidamos agora Marcos Henrique.
We invite
de
now
Castro
Marcos
Oliveira.
Henrique de Castro Oliveira.
Algum representante?
Is there a representative for him?
E por último,
Last but not least,
Maurício Zuma Medeiros.
Maurício Zuma Medeiro.
Bom, eu gostaria de agradecer a
I would
todos os
like to thank
ex-diretores,
all the
com
former
exceção do Dr.
directors,
João Quintal.
with the
Eu trabalhei com todos
exception of
vocês. Eu estou aqui
Dr.
em
João
Biomanguinhos há
Quintal. I
25
worked with all
anos.
of you. I've
Trabalhei
been
com
in this
todos os
company for
ex-diretores
25
que hoje
years, so I work directly with
ocupam
all
vagas gerais.
former directors
Se
that
eu
were
fosse falar
honored here
pouquinho de
today.
cada acho que a gente ia
If
ficar
I were
aqui
going
mais
to
o resto
speak
da manhã
about each
inteira.
of them, we
Tenho um
would
carinho
spend the rest of
especial
the day.
por todos esses
But I have a
ex-diretores,
very
por vocês
special
terem
feeling of love for
conduzido
all these former
Biomanguinhos
directors, for your
através de todos
management
esses
of
anos. E como Lízia
Biomanguinhos
disse,
during
a
the
Fiocruz é uma
years.
continuidade. Cada que
Fiocruz is a
chegou aqui
continuity of
fez o seu
this. Each of
papel,
you here
colocou a sua
did your role,
personalidade em Biomanguinhos,
put in
transformou
your own
Biomanguinhos, mas
personality
acima de
in
tudo, deu
Biomanguinhos and
possibilidade de
transformed it,
crescimento aos seus servidores,
and
o
gave
que
us
faz com que a gente
possibility of
continue
growth. And this
que faz
makes
com que a
it
gente tenha força
so
e
that people
motivação para
continue to
continuar
have
e trazer
motivation
agora
and
para essa nova
strength to
geração
continue,
inspiração para que
and so that we
Biomanguinhos
may
tenha
be
mais
able to
50
equally
anos
inspire
de
this new
sucesso,
generation so that we have another 50 years
de
of
sucesso na sua
success
missão, que é
in its
produzir
mission,
medicamentos,
producing
vacinas,
medication,
kits de diagnóstico, mas
vaccines,
mais importante do que isso, levar para o SUS o
developing
acesso
diagnostics
a esses
kits, and
imunobiológicos tão
bringing to the
importantes. A nossa
unified
missão
health
é com a
system
sociedade brasileira, a nossa
supplies
missão é com a
related to
saúde, com cuidado.
immunobiologicals
Então,
that are
gostaria de
so
agradecer a
important. Our
cada
mission is
dos
to care for the
ex-diretores que hoje
Brazilian
foram aqui
population. I want to
homenageados.
thank each of the former directors that were honored
Obrigada
here
pela
today.
contribuição.
Thank you so
Esperamos
much for your
que essa
contribution.
diretoria e as
We hope
próximas
that this directory
tenham,
now and the future
realizem o que
ones
vocês realizaram.
do the same that you have done. May we continue to take biomanguinhos and conduce it in the way that you have. We thank you greatly. In the name of the former directors, I would like to ask everyone here to give them a warm round of applause to all the employees that have worked with us during these years. Without them, none of this would be possible.
Muito obrigada aos ex-diretores.
Thank you so much to the former directors and employees. We will continue with our tributes.
Muito obrigada. Reconhecemos as
Thank
seguintes
you. We
instituições.
recognize the following institutions and invite their representatives to receive the tributes
Diretora Rosane Couto.
in name of our director, Rosane Kuber.
Convidamos
We
para
invite
representar a coordenação
to
geral
represent
de
the
sangue e
general
hemoderivados
coordination
do Ministério da
of
Saúde,
blood in the Ministry of
Luciana Maria de
of
Barros
Health,
Carlos.
Luciana Maria de Barros Carlos. Luciana.
Registro fotográfico.
A photo, please.
Com a palavra, Luciana.
Luciana will speak now.
Bom dia a todos e todas.
Good morning, everybody.
Orgulho imenso estar aqui representando a
It's an
Comunidade
honor to be
Nacional do
here
Sangue e Hemoderivados.
representing the National
Esse ano
Blood
que a gente está
Foundation.
completando os 25
And
anos
this year that we are
25
also
anos da Política
celebrating
Nacional do Sangue.
25
Eu fiquei
years
vendo toda
of
a
existence.
solenidade, não esperava ter
I was watching the
momento de
celebration,
fala,
the
e
ceremony.
vendo toda a
I didn't
solenidade
expect to speak here today,
lembrando, né, renovando
but while I watched the ceremony, I
o entendimento da
understood
importância da gente tomar
that how
decisões
important it
corretas e
is for us
corajosas
to make the
quando a gente está
right
falando de
decisions
políticas
and be
públicas,
brave
principalmente na área
when
da
it
saúde.
comes to
Então, as pessoas
public
que passaram
policies,
aqui
especially concerning health.
são realmente uma referência
So the
enorme
people
para
here
cada
today
cada
really
pessoa
are
que trabalha
a
em
reference
saúde
to
no
me.
país. E essa
Each person that's
instituição é uma
working in
inspiração,
health in
acho que
this
não só
country is
para
an
os trabalhadores da
inspiration.
saúde, mas para cada brasileiro.
This institution is
Entende a
an inspiration not
importância da
only to those that
ciência, a
work in
importância
health,
do
but all
SUS, a
Brazilians,
importância de
all
sermos
Brazilians that understand the
protagonistas
importance of
das próprias
science, of our unified
soluções
health
dos nossos
system,
próprios problemas.
of
Acho
finding the
que
solutions to our
esse é um testemunho
problems.
que
This
a
is a
Fiocruz
testimony that I give
para
you,
todos nós nesse momento.
and that these
Dentro da Política
institutions
Nacional
show
do Sangue,
us.
nós tivemos alguns desafios
Within the
urgentes
national
e
policies
temos
related to
desafios
blood, we have
futuros.
some
A Fiocruz
challenges that we face
desenvolveu
together
uma solução
now and in the
nacional
future.
para teste
And
de triagem
Few
molecular
Cruz
para doadores de
developed a
sangue,
solution
reduzindo o risco de
related
transmissão
to
de doenças
blood
como HIV,
donations,
hepatite C e
reducing the
hepatite B.
risk of
Isso
transmissions
foi
of
muito
diseases like
importante, porque o
HIV
Brasil
and others. This
estava
was
se
so
colocando como
important
refém
because
do
Brazil
início
was
que o
putting
Brasil tomou
itself
esse
as a
custo
hostage
abusivo
of an
com relação à
industry
implementação
that
dessa tecnologia
had
para
abusive
nossos
costs.
doadores. Isso
So we were
retardou
able to
pouco
free ourselves from
a
this.
redução desse risco transfusional no país.
And we
E
have
a partir do momento
reduced the
que
risk of blood
a decisão
transfusions in
que
the
o Bimanguinhos
country.
desenvolveria esse teste
This
foi
decision that
tomada, essa
Biomanguinhos would
tecnologia passou a
develop
ser
this test,
realidade e
this
todos os
technology
doadores
became
de
a
sangue, todas as
reality.
bolsas
And
colhidas
all
pelo
blood
SUS no
donators
país, são
nowadays
2
in the
milhões e
country
800
are
mil
two
bolsas
million and eight
anuais.
hundred
Hoje são
thousand a year,
testadas em 13
and they're all
laboratórios
tested. There
estrategicamente
are
escolhidos
13
e
strategic
alimentados por
laboratories for
Bimanguinhos já
this,
com a
and
segunda
Biomanguinhos
com o
is
segundo teste
supplying them with
desenvolvido. Nós já
this
não temos mais
technology.
o
We are already
teste
in our
inicial,
second
já
version
temos
of it.
uma atualização e que inclui a
We've
malária.
updated
O
and
Brasil se
improved the
torna o
test, and this
primeiro país
includes
no mundo a
malaria.
ter
And Brazil is the first country in the world to have a test for lab triage of blood donators to reduce the transmission of malaria through blood transfusions. And it's not a surprise that from this place, we started to find cases in regions that were known as endemics of asymptomatic malaria cases. These were transmissions and events and risk situations that we have avoided. Adding this to all the work we've done in hepatitis and HIV, it's been great work. Everybody here today participated in this. And I really want to say that we at the Blood Coordination are available to continue to make these decisions. We need to continue progressing the new technologies, new solutions to improve blood transfusion safety. I'm proud and honored to be here, and thank you once more for this tribute and for highlighting the importance of all that we're doing here today. Without this partnership today, we would not have the blood transfusion safety that we have in the country. This is not something just for us to be proud of, but each person that works with this in Brazilian networks, all the centers and immunotherapy clinics that are here connected to our health system. Thank you so much for being available and willing to develop this technology, and we expect to develop even more. Thank you so much.
Convidamos
We invite to the stage the representative for the National Program of Immunization to receive this tribute.
Muito obrigada. Com a palavra,
Thank
Thaís.
you. Thaisa will speak to us now.
Bom dia, pessoal.
Good morning, everybody.
Gostaria de iniciar
I would like to begin
primeiro agradecendo
by first thanking the opportunity that everybody at Fiocruz has given me to be here today, all of the directors and also employees with whom we talk to every day. It's a privilege and a huge responsibility to represent the National Immunization Program and all the people who compose it. Many of our participants were not able to be here today, but I'm glad to receive this tribute. I will take it to Brasilia, and I'm sure everybody will love to see it. And I want to first highlight the relevancy, the strategic relevancy of Biomanguinhos and Fiocruz, not only in health, but the protection of our population, the technology that you develop with commitment of our unified health system is what allows us to give access and protection to the Brazilian population. I will give just one example, but highlight the relevancy of the yellow fever vaccine, and globally speaking, not just regional, not just in our country, globally. It's a strength, it's a privilege to have Biomanguinhos as a public partner, as cultural heritage of our country. It's a pillar of our unified health system. Without you, part of our mission and job, which is to protect Brazilians through vaccinations, would not be possible. and your collaboration of all the public servants that are in this institution. I want to read a message that we prepared together. But first, I just wanted to give this introduction. This 50-year landmark is a reason of a lot of pride for the health ministry. This is not just about the past, but it is where we will continue to build the future of health in Brazil. The journey of Biomanguinhos and the story of our ministry are together. If today Brazil is a global reference in vaccination, it's because we have strong partners that are able to offer accessible science and supplies. The relationship between our ministry and Biomanguinhos is not just a partnership, it is a commitment to similar ideals. During these 50 years, Biomanguinhos proved itself to be one of the pillars in science and technology in our country and the world. Up to us is the role of being the voice of this institution and reaffirm the commitment of working together so that we may do even more eradicating and controlling diseases that are preventable. Above all, we confirm our commitment to protection of life between the health ministry, Fiocruz, and Biomanguinhos. I would like to congratulate each public servant here today that each day work together to build this puzzle that makes it possible for vaccines to reach every person in this country. This national program is well recognized internationally in a huge continental country with many numerous challenges, political, financial, and we still make it happen. An example of this is just taking a look at practical things that happen the day to day, like the maintenance of the elimination of chickenpox in our country. Biomanguinhos is connected to this. Even seeing other parts of the world still having a hard time controlling these diseases, but Brazil is still strong and focused. And the Biomanguinhos technology is a part of this story. Thank you so much. Congratulations.
Através dessa homenagem aos programas do Ministério da Saúde, nós
homage
homenageamos também
to
os
the
nossos
programs
parceiros
of Ministry of
internacionais e
Health,
nacionais
we also
que
honor
possibilitam
our national and
Biomanguinhos atender
international
a esses
partners
programas
who
com
make it
compromisso,
available for us
comprometimento, prazo e qualidade.
to meet these programs with
Essa homenagem
commitment
também
within
reforça o nosso
deadlines and with
compromisso em
quality. And
continuar
this
cada vez
also
mais
reinforces our
buscando
commitment to
desenvolvimentos,
continue
tecnologias que
searching
garantam não
development and
só Programa
technologies that will
Nacional de
ensure
Imunizações
not
forte,
only a
mas
strong
também
national
programa
health
da coordenação de
immunization
sangue,
program,
programa da
but
coordenação geral
also
dos
a
laboratórios,
blood
programa
program, a
do
general
DAF,
coordination of
de medicamentos,
laboratories, a
programas
program for
fortes do Ministério.
medicines,
Esse é o nosso
and strong
compromisso
programs
de
for the
produção,
ministry.
de
This is our
desenvolvimento, para
commitment
que a
of
gente
production
consiga,
and
através do nosso
development, so that we
trabalho,
can, through
através
our
das nossas
work,
parcerias,
through our
darmos
partnerships,
acesso à população
give
a esses
access
imunobiológicos
to
tão
to
necessários
the
para que a
population to
gente
these
continue garantindo
so needed
saúde, cuidado e vida
bioimmunologicals,
à população
so
brasileira.
we can
Com isso,
improve
eu me
health and
despeço,
life
agradecendo
of
a
the
todos
Brazilian
vocês,
population. And now I'd
desejando a
like
todos
to say
vocês
my
um
goodbyes to
excelente
you
evento,
and
fizemos
wish you
aqui
all
agora
a
apenas a
great
abertura do
event. Now
simpósio
we
e
only
as
had the
comemorações dos 50
opening
anos, mas
and
teremos ao
of
longo
the
dessa
symposium
semana,
and the
nos dias
celebration
7
of the
e 8,
50
no Museu
years,
de
but
Arte Moderna, a continuidade do nosso
in May
simpósio,
7 and
onde
8,
teremos
we'll
excelentes
continue our
palestras,
symposium
mesas
in the
redondas. Doutora
Modern
Kira
Art
já
Museum.
falou aqui
We'll have
bastante.
many
Gostaria de agradecer
interesting
mais uma vez
lectures.
aos
And I would
patrocinadores
like once
que
more
tornaram
to thank our
possível não só esse
sponsors who
evento
have
aqui em
made
Biomanguinhos, mas
this event
também o
possible,
evento lá no
and
MAN.
also the
Agradeço a
event
presença de
at
todos vocês
the
aqui
Modern
no
Art
LOG e
Museum.
os que estão
I
online.
like to
E
thank
agradeço
all for your
mais uma vez, do
presence,
fundo do meu
you who are
coração,
here
a
at
todos
the
os
lobby or
trabalhadores e
online.
trabalhadoras
And
desta
once
casa,
again,
da
my
Fiocruz,
big
por
thanks
nos
to all
permitir
people who work at Biomanguinhos and Fiocruz who allow us to fulfill our mission. Thank you so much.
Somente peço que todos
I
fiquem
would
de
just
pé
like to ask you all to stand so we can give a round of applause to our 50 years of Biomanguinhos Fiocruz.
Muito obrigada.
Thank you so much.
Muito obrigada e
Thank
excelente
you
dia
all.
a todos.
I wish you all a great day.